Welcome to Sports News. Nigeria will begin the quest to defend her African Cup of Nations title with a home game against Congo at the UJ Swene Stadium in Calabar this weekend. The Super Eagles were surprise winners of the last edition hosted by South Africa in 2013 after a wonderful run en route to winning a third African title. Only Egypt has successfully defended the title in the last 2 decades of the biennial competition. The Super Eagles will, however, want to rewrite history, and the journey begins on September the 6th when the Congolese come to town. This is the first time the African champions will be playing a competitive game after the FIFA World Cup in Brazil.
Odamwingie goes again in the middle. Emenike tries to light the fires. He has done too. Emenike, Odamwingie!
But the Super Eagles find themselves mired in off-field issues as they prepare to host the Red Devils of Congo in their opening Africa Cup of Nations qualifier this weekend. The Nigeria Football Federation, NFF, is embroiled in a fierce leadership tussle, threatening to tear the body apart and landing it in trouble with FIFA. With the impending FIFA ban putting their campaign at risk, the players have resolved to trudge on and focus on the game against the Central African nation.
On the wing, I played number 10. I played as a striker, so it depends, what the manager asks for that day. So I'm not a player that just has, one position. That's why many people say, oh, he's a winger, he's a striker, isn't it?
We are not looking backward, that we won them before. We know now they will be more ready because they think we are Nation Cup champion.
Calabar has been Super Eagles' slaughtering ground, and this time too, there won't be any escape route for the Congolese.
Other people have called it that it's a slaughterhouse of the team. They've never lost a match here. And the fact that the fans here play their role as the 12th player on the pitch, they cheer them till the end of the game, knowing that the match never ends until the referee's whistle goes.
The last time the Super Eagles played Congo was 14 years ago when Nigeria co-hosted the African Cup of Nations with Ghana. Nigeria will be without goalkeeper Vincent Enyama, who was withdrawn citing family reasons. But fans will be relieved when off-field politics give way to 90 minutes of good football as the hosts take the first step towards defending their continental crown. Off to the tennis courts now at the US Open. World number 1 Serena Williams has qualified for the finals of the US Open at Flushing Meadows. 17-time Grand Slam winner Williams outclassed Russia's Ekaterina Makarova 6-1, 6-3 to set up a clash with Denmark's Caroline Wozniacki. Wozniacki advanced to the final after opponent Shui Peng was forced to retire when a set down. She was leading 7-6, 4-3 when Peng began holding her leg in pain and was then helped off the court for medical attention. Peng returned 10 minutes later but could complete only 5 points before collapsing once again. Cycling now, Spain's Dani Navarro claimed the 13th stage of the Tour of Spain after a timely attack on the final climb of a 188.7-kilometer hilly ride from Belorado. Navarro sped away from a skimmed pack on a steep slope some 2.5 kilometers from the line and never looked back. His compatriot Dani Moreno was second and Dutchman Wilco Kelderman took third place, both 2 seconds off the pace. Spaniard Alberto Contador retained the overall leader's red jersey after finishing 7th, with the other top contenders 5 seconds behind Navarro. And in rugby, the Springboks go into tomorrow's match against the Wallabies of Australia at Perth's Subiaco Oval, leading the Rugby Championship after 2 narrow victories over Argentina. Australia remain winless after a draw and a 51-20 pummeling at the hands of the All Blacks of New Zealand. Wallabies coach Ewan McKenzie responded to the humiliation at Eden Park, pulling his back line, but the 6-2 split in favor of the forwards on his replacements bench is perhaps a better indication of the sort of match he's expecting. That's it on Sports News. Amarachi will be back in a moment with the rest of the news at 10.
On the foreign scene, the U.S. Pentagon has confirmed that U.S. airstrikes did indeed kill leader of the Somali militant group Al-Shabaab, Ahmed Abdi Godani was said to have been one of the U.S. State Department's most wanted men, and the U.S. had placed a $7 million bounty on his head. He was said to have been killed on Monday night after airstrikes hit his convoy, destroying a vehicle. Somalia's President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, in a statement today, urged the militants to embrace peace. He had earlier announced a 45-day amnesty for those willing to renounce the terror group. Cynthia Arre has more of the day's major stories.
Still talking peace deals, the Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko has announced the successful signing of a preliminary protocol to start a ceasefire between Ukrainian government and pro-Russia rebels meeting in Minsk. President Petro Poroshenko said he will do everything possible to end the bloodshed. The rebels also said the truce had not changed their policy of advocating separation from Ukraine. Plus, the leader of the Somali Islamist group Al-Shabaab, Ahmed Godani, was killed following a U.S. attack earlier this week. The U.S. carried out airstrikes on Monday night, targeting a convoy in which he was traveling. He was one of the U.S. State Department's most wanted men. Then it seems to be a good day for the likes of Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta, as prosecutors at the International Criminal Court have asked that his case be adjourned indefinitely. ICC Chief Prosecutor Fatou Bensouda said she still did not have enough evidence to proceed with the trial, which was due to resume next month. Finally, rescuers at a coal mine in Bosnia have freed 29 trapped miners, but 5 others were confirmed dead after a gas blast caused a small earthquake. The survivors were pulled one by one out of the mine in Zenica after spending the night more than 500 meters below ground. And that's the foreign news wrap-up. It's back to you.
A Chinese action film hero, Jackie Chan, will be screening his latest flick, Chinese Zodiac, in Nigeria very soon. Find out details and more on Entertainment News Tonight with Mayowa Ogundele.
On Entertainment News Tonight, organizers have announced preparation for the 11th edition of the Abuja International Film Festival, which will end with an awards ceremony which recognizes excellence in 13 categories from 145 entries received. The film festival will also premiere a special 3D movie by the legendary Chinese actor Jackie Chan titled Chinese Zodiac. Nigerian pop music rave Davido has earned 5 nominations at the 2014 edition of the Channel O Music Awards, including in the coveted Most Gifted Video of the Year category. Two-Face Idibia, Tiwa Savage, P.Square, Jesse Jaggs, Dr. Sid, Pato Rankin also received nominations in varying categories. Movie producer Zebulon Ejiro has frowned on a growing affinity between politicians and actors. The veteran filmmaker from the formative years of Nollywood, in an exclusive interview with Channels TV, believes Nigerian actors are getting carried away with the perks of having political friends, so much that they have lost concentration on their primary profession. Have a listen.
You as a producer, you are looking for 15, 20 million to do a blockbuster. The politicians are giving them 100 millions. You understand? Tell me, how are you going to get that kind of girl to come and work for you? So that is why you find the movie industry is scattered in a way. Now, professionalism, they have thrown professionalism to the dogs because of the politician.
Tributes have been pouring in for legendary comedian John Rivers, who passed away last Thursday. Celebrities have taken to social media platforms to pay their last respect to the comic character. Whoopi Goldberg wrote, "My friend John Rivers has passed away. Once again, to quote Billy Crystal, there are no words. Bon voyage, John." While Chat Show and Oscars host Ellen DeGeneres said John Rivers will always be a pioneer. She paved the way for a lot of comedians. I'm very sad she's gone. And that's it on entertainment. Thank you so much for watching.
And the main news again. The Department of State Services has promised to quiz former Borno State Governor Ali Modu Sharif over alleged links with Boko Haram terrorists. The service's spokesperson Marilyn Oga affirmed this intention at a media briefing where she paraded some Boko Haram terror suspects, including the notorious Nyaya bomber. Military authorities and the Borno state government have offered assurances yet again that the armed forces will defeat the insurgents and defend the nation's territorial integrity. And the Minister of Education has announced September the 22nd as resumption date for schools in the country following a review. That's the news at 10 tonight. Thank you for watching. I am Amarachi Obani. Have a great night and a great weekend. Metrofile is up next, followed by Network Africa. Focus in Africa.